Big tech refers to the world's largest and most dominant companies in the information technology industry. This term is generally applied to companies such as Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook, and Microsoft due to their huge market capitalization, massive consumer influence, and vast data resources. The so-called tech wars refer to the intense competition between these companies. They are fighting for several reasons. 1. Market dominance. Each of these companies wants to dominate the market and become the go-to platform for consumers. This often leads to intense competition as they try to outdo each other with innovative products and services. 2. Data control. In today's digital age, data is power. These companies compete for access to and control over vast amounts of consumer data, which they can use to improve their services, target advertising, and gain insights into consumer behavior. 3. Technological innovation. These companies are constantly in a race to develop new, cutting-edge technology. Whether it's AI, cloud computing, or next-generation devices, being the first to market with a new innovation can give a company a significant competitive advantage. 4. Regulatory challenges. Big tech companies are facing increasing scrutiny from governments around the world, which is another area of competition. They need to navigate these challenges while also battling each other. 5. Consumer trust. Finally, these companies are also competing for consumer trust. In a world where data breaches and privacy concerns are common, maintaining and building consumer trust can be a key competitive advantage. This competition fuels technological advancement and innovation, but it also raises concerns about market monopolies, data privacy, and the immense power these companies hold. Big tech wars and regional tech competitions can both positively and negatively influence local creators' ability to grow across various social media platforms. Here are a few ways this can play out. 1. Changes in platform accessibility. When big tech companies compete, they often try to edge each other out in different regions. This can result in certain platforms becoming unavailable in those areas, limiting the potential audience for creators. For instance, if a certain social media platform is banned in a country due to geopolitical issues, it will directly impact creators who have audiences on those platforms. 2. Emergence of local platforms. On the positive side, regional tech competitions can give rise to local platforms that are more attuned to the culture and preferences of the local populace. This can provide creators with a more targeted platform to grow their audiences. 3. Increased innovation. Competitions often lead to innovation. Tech companies might roll out new features to attract users, providing creators with new tools to engage their audiences. 4. Data privacy and protection laws. Different regions have different laws regarding data privacy and protection. Differences in these laws can influence how creators can reach out to and interact with their audiences. For example, strict data protection laws might limit the ability of creators to use targeted advertising. 5. Economic implications. The economic implications of tech wars could also affect creators. For instance, if a tech war results in economic sanctions or changes in the exchange rate, it could affect how creators earn from their content. 6. Diversification. To minimize the impact of these tech wars and competitions, creators often diversify their presence across multiple platforms. This way, if one platform becomes unavailable or less popular in a region, they still have other platforms to fall back on. While these tech wars and competitions can create challenges for creators, they can also create opportunities. It's all about how well creators can adapt to the changing landscape. The competition between big tech companies in different regions can have both positive and negative consequences for creators. Let's examine some potential outcomes. 1. Increased opportunities. Tech giants often provide a global platform for creators to showcase their talents. This competition can lead to the development of new features and platforms, creating more avenues for creators to reach their audience. 2. Better monetization. With competition often comes better incentives. Creators could potentially earn more as these companies strive to attract and retain talent. 3. Enhanced creativity. The competition drives innovation, pushing creators to come up with unique content to stand out. 4. Exposure to diverse audiences. Creators can reach a wider audience as these companies have a global presence. On the flip side, there could be some downsides. 1. Market saturation. The increased competition can lead to market saturation, making it harder for creators to stand out. 2. Dependence on platforms. creators may become overly dependent on these platforms for their income, which could be risky if the platform changes its policies or algorithms. 3. Inconsistent policies. Different regions may have different rules and regulations that could affect how creators operate. 4. Intellectual property issues. There might be issues with intellectual property rights if the platforms do not have robust protections in place. 5. Privacy concerns. Depending on the region and the company, there could be potential issues related to data privacy and security. While competition among tech giants can open up new opportunities, it can also present challenges that creators need to navigate. Competition among tech giants can have both positive and negative impacts on creators in terms of their dependence on platforms. On the positive side, competition often leads to innovation. Tech giants constantly improve their platforms to attract and retain creators. They develop new features, tools, and revenue models to help creators grow their audience, create engaging content, and monetize their work. For example, platforms might offer better analytics, live streaming features, subscription options, direct tipping, and more. This constant innovation can provide creators with a variety of options, allowing them to choose the platforms that best meet their needs. However, the dependence on platforms can also have negative impacts. Firstly, creators are subject to the rules and policies of these platforms, which can change at any time. If a platform decides to change its algorithm, for example, this could drastically affect a creator's reach and engagement. Similarly, changes in monetization policies could directly impact a creator's income. Secondly, the dominance of a few tech giants can limit competition. If a few platforms hold a large share of the market, it can be hard for creators to move to other platforms or negotiate better terms. This dependence can make creators vulnerable to exploitation. Insomuch as competition among tech giants can lead to innovation and better options for creators, the dependence on these platforms can also create instability and limit creators' bargaining power. It's a complex relationship, and the balance of power can shift quickly in this rapidly evolving landscape. Competition between big tech companies raises several potential concerns. 1. Data privacy. The desire to dominate the market can lead to companies neglecting user privacy. As these companies aim to personalize experiences, they gather more personal data, posing a potential threat to user privacy. 2. Monopolistic behavior. The large market shares of these companies can result in monopolistic behavior, where they can control prices and stifle competition. This could limit innovation and choice for consumers. 3. Influence and power. Big tech companies have a significant influence on public opinion and government policies due to their massive user base and wealth. This level of power can potentially be misused. 4. Job displacement. Technological advancements often lead to job displacement, particularly in traditional sectors. As big tech companies continue to grow and automate, more people may lose their jobs. 5. Economic inequality. The wealth and power concentrated in these companies can contribute to economic inequality. The profits generated often go to the top executives and shareholders, while the average employees may not see significant wage increases. 6. Digital divide. As these companies push for more advanced technologies, those without access to such technology or the skills to use them can be left behind, widening the digital divide. 7. Cybersecurity threats. The vast amount of data held by these companies makes them prime targets for cyber attacks, posing a risk to users' personal information. 8. Ethical issues. There are concerns over how these companies use AI and other technologies, which can potentially be used in unethical ways. For example, the use of AI in decision-making processes can lead to bias and discrimination. 9. Tax evasion. There have been concerns over these companies using sophisticated methods to avoid paying taxes, depriving economies of significant revenues. 10. Sustainability. The massive energy consumption of these companies, particularly those offering cloud services, could be seen as contributing to environmental issues. The significant influence and power of big tech companies can be misused in various ways. 1. Manipulation of information. Big tech companies have the ability to control the flow of information through their platforms. This power can be misused to manipulate public opinion, spread misinformation, or censor certain viewpoints, potentially influencing elections and public discourse. 2. Privacy violations. With access to vast amounts of user data, big tech companies can potentially misuse this information for their own gain or even sell it to third parties without proper consent. This can lead to breaches of privacy and compromise the security of individuals. 3. Anti-competitive practices. Big tech companies with significant market dominance can engage in anti-competitive practices, such as acquiring or copying smaller competitors, setting unfair terms for business partners, or prioritizing their own products or services over others. This can stifle innovation and limit consumer choice. 4. Political influence. The enormous wealth and user base of big tech companies give them significant political influence. They can use this power to lobby for policies that benefit their own interests, potentially distorting democratic processes and undermining the public interest. 5. Bias and discrimination. Algorithms and AI systems used by big tech companies can inadvertently perpetuate bias and discrimination. If not properly designed and regulated, these systems can amplify existing societal biases, leading to unfair treatment of certain groups or individuals. 6. Exploitation of workers. Big tech companies often rely on a combination of permanent employees and gig workers. There have been concerns about exploitative labor practices, such as low wages, lack of benefits, and precarious job security. 7. Market manipulation. Big tech companies have the power to influence markets through their platforms. They can manipulate search results, promote their own products or services, or engage in unfair practices that disadvantage competitors, potentially distorting fair market competition. Not all big tech companies engage in these practices, and some have implemented measures to address these concerns. However, the concentration of power and influence in a few companies raises the risk of misuse if proper regulations and safeguards are not in place. The consequences of big tech companies manipulating information can have wide-ranging impacts on individuals and society as a whole. Here are some potential consequences. 1. Spread of misinformation. Manipulation of information by big tech companies can lead to the spread of misinformation and fake news. This can create confusion, mislead the public, and erode trust in reliable sources of information, ultimately undermining democratic processes and public discourse. 2. Impact on elections. Manipulation of information can have a significant impact on electoral processes. Big tech companies can influence the visibility and reach of certain political messages or candidates, potentially swaying public opinion and voter behavior. This can undermine the fairness and integrity of elections. 3. Polarization and division. Manipulation of information can contribute to the polarization and division of society. By selectively promoting or suppressing certain viewpoints, big tech companies can create echo chambers and filter bubbles, reinforcing existing beliefs and exacerbating societal divisions. 4. Threat to freedom of speech. Manipulation of information by big tech companies can pose a threat to freedom of speech. If certain viewpoints or opinions are censored or suppressed, it can limit the diversity of ideas and perspectives, stifling open dialogue and hindering the free exchange of information. 5. Impact on public health and safety. Manipulation of information can have serious implications for public health and safety. For example, during a crisis or pandemic, the spread of false or misleading information can lead to confusion, panic, and even harm if people act based on inaccurate information. 6. Erosion of trust. Manipulation of information erodes trust in big tech companies and their platforms. When users perceive that the information they receive is biased or manipulated, they may lose confidence in the reliability and credibility of these platforms, leading to a decline in user engagement and trust. 7. Inequality of access. Manipulation of information can exacerbate existing inequalities in access to information. If certain viewpoints or voices are marginalized or suppressed, it can further marginalize already disadvantaged communities and limit their ability to participate fully in public discourse. These consequences highlight the importance of transparency, accountability, and ethical practices in the operations of big tech companies to ensure the fair and responsible use of their power and influence over information dissemination. Protecting innovation and achieving success in the face of big tech wars, bias, censorship, and monopolistic practices of tech giants can be challenging. However, there are some strategies that you as creators should consider deploying. 1. Intellectual property protection. As a creator, you must protect your innovation through patents, trademarks, copyrights, and trade secrets. These legal protections can act as strong safeguards for your inventions, brand identity, creative works, and confidential information. 2. Strategic partnerships. Collaborating with other companies, organizations, or individuals can help you as a creator to navigate the challenges posed by big tech. By forming strategic partnerships, you can access necessary resources, expertise, and a wider distribution network, which can enhance your chances of success. 3. Diversification. Relying solely on one platform or technology can increase vulnerability to bias, censorship, or monopolistic practices. As a creator, you should consider diversifying your presence across multiple platforms, channels, or mediums. This can reduce dependency on a single entity and provide alternative avenues for reaching your audience. 4. Building a strong community. Cultivating a loyal and engaged community of supporters can act as a protective shield against bias or censorship. As a creator, you should focus on building a direct relationship with your audience through social media, mailing lists, or online forums. This allows you to maintain communication and distribute content independently of big tech platforms. 5. Education and advocacy. Staying informed about legal rights, regulations, and industry trends is crucial. As creators, you can join industry associations or organizations that advocate for fair practices and support the rights of creators. By actively participating in discussions and lobbying for change, you can speak up and help shape policies that protect innovation and level the playing field. 6. Innovation and adaptability. Continuous innovation and adaptability are key to staying ahead in a rapidly changing landscape. As a creator, you should focus on developing new ideas, exploring emerging technologies, and adapting to market trends. By being proactive and agile, you can maintain a competitive edge despite the challenges posed by big tech. It's important to consult legal professionals, industry experts, and advisors who can provide you with personalized guidance based on the specific circumstances and regulations in your jurisdiction. I'd like to undergird the role that you as creators play in applying key strategies in order to effectively navigate the challenges posed by big tech. 1. Diversify platforms. As creators, you should diversify your presence across multiple platforms. Relying solely on one platform can leave you vulnerable to changes in algorithms, bias, or censorship. By expanding your reach to different platforms, you can mitigate the risk of being solely dependent on a single entity. 2. Build direct relationships. Building a direct relationship with your audience is crucial. You should prioritize building your own website or blog and capturing email addresses to establish direct communication channels. This allows you as a creator to maintain control over your content and reach your audience without relying solely on big tech platforms. 3. Embrace niche communities. Creators like yourself can explore niche communities or platforms that cater to your specific target audience. These communities often have less competition and can provide a more engaged and loyal fan base. By focusing on these communities, you can build a dedicated following and establish yourselves as experts in your niche. 4. Utilize data and analytics. As creators, you should leverage data and analytics to gain insights into your audience's preferences, behavior, and engagement. This information can help you make informed decisions about content creation, distribution strategies, and audience targeting. By understanding your audience better, you can adapt your approach to meet the audience's needs and preferences. 5. Collaborate with peers. Collaborating with other creators can be mutually beneficial. By partnering with like-minded creators, you can pool resources, cross-promote each other's content, and share audiences. This can help you expand your reach and increase your visibility, even in the face of big tech competition. 6. Stay informed and adapt. As creators, you should stay informed about the latest trends, algorithm changes, and policies of big tech platforms. By keeping up with industry news and developments, you can adapt your strategies accordingly. Being proactive and agile allows you to navigate the ever-changing landscape of big tech and adjust your approach to maximize your success. Remember, these are strategies and are not exhaustive, but offer a framework of guidance. As creators, you should tailor your approaches based on your specific circumstances, target audience, and goals. It's also advisable to research more information from industry experts, or by attending conferences and joining relevant communities to stay updated and learn from others' experiences. Now, let's concentrate on one specific area: platform diversification. Diversifying your platforms can offer you several benefits as a creator. Here are a few ways diversification can benefit you. 1. Reach a wider audience. By diversifying platforms, you can expand your reach and connect with a larger audience. Different platforms attract different user demographics and have varying levels of popularity in different regions. By leveraging multiple platforms, you can tap into new audiences that may not be active on your primary platform. 2. Mitigate dependence on a single platform. Relying solely on one platform can be risky. Algorithms, policies, and trends on big tech platforms can change, potentially impacting your visibility and reach. By diversifying, you reduce your dependence on a single platform, making you less susceptible to sudden changes or algorithmic biases that may negatively affect your content. 3. Increase revenue opportunities. Diversification has the potential to open up new revenue streams for you. Different platforms offer various monetization options, such as ad revenue, sponsorships, merchandise sales, or direct fan support. By expanding your presence across multiple platforms, you can leverage these different monetization options and potentially increase your overall earnings. 4. Adapt to audience preferences. Different platforms have unique features, formats, and user behaviors. By diversifying, you can adapt your content and presentation to better suit the preferences and behaviors of each platform's audience. This flexibility allows you to experiment with different content styles and formats, keeping your content fresh and engaging for your audience. 5. Build a resilient brand. Diversification helps you build a more resilient brand. By establishing a presence on multiple platforms, you can create a cohesive brand image that extends across different channels. This multi-platform presence will help you stay relevant and visible even if one platform faces challenges or declines in popularity. 6. Explore niche communities. Diversifying platforms allows creators to explore and engage with niche communities. These communities often have dedicated and passionate audiences who appreciate specialized content. By tapping into these niche communities, you can build a loyal and engaged fan base that supports your work and provides valuable feedback. Diversifying platforms empowers you to reach more people, reduce risk, explore new revenue streams, adapt to audience preferences, build a resilient brand, and connect with niche communities. By strategically leveraging multiple platforms, you can enhance your visibility, growth, and long-term success in the quickly changing digital landscape.